You got the most exciting time of the year for the MLB playoffs. So we have a bracket already that came through last night, and we're going to show that here. Here's your
I
bracket.
mean, subject to change on some of these, obviously, but
Yeah, for sure. Some of them.
the NL is definitely a lot more set in stone than the AL is. The AL, like Toronto, could fall to the 4 like within the day because the Yankees are like I think a game back from them.
Mm.
So I mean, I'd have to take a look at the bracket again, but the NL, I think the Mets are gonna unfortunately make it in. I really want them to lose just for the memes because they were
Bro, look,
21 games over 500 at one point.
I know you guys were saying last week that the Brewers should not want to see the Cubs, but I don't want to see the Padres. I
I
don't.
don't want to see either of them, to be
I don't
honest,
want to see the Padres
for
at
different
all.
reasons.
I hope the Cubs destroy them in that series and they come to Milwaukee for a 3-game series. Or no, is it best out of 5 in the second round, right? I
Best of 5 AODS, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's best
I
of 5, but 2 of the games are in Chicago, though.
That's fine. I mean, I don't want to see the Padres. I genuinely don't. I don't know why people want to see them over the Cubs. I just think the Cubs would obviously be a better matchup with fan wise. It'll be more money coming into that playoff series than ever. But either way, it's gonna be tough. So I don't know. What team would you rather see, Chris, on this side? I know if you had
So it's
if you had
tough.
the opportunity to see it.
If I had to pick right now, I think the Padres, even at Wrigley, win this series. They're hotter. Like the Cubs came off like their biggest losing streak of the season. They lost 5 games in a row. They lost 4 in a row to Cincinnati, which Cincinnati is it. I think they're better than their record says they are in terms of talent, at least in the pitching staff. But they just blew 2 games to Pittsburgh. So it's not like they were an overly hot team playing against the Cubs either. So my thing is, I think as a fan, I don't want to face the Cubs more because I just don't know if my heart can handle a series against them and the stress that would, and the thought of like losing to Craig Counsell, our old manager. Like I just don't know if I could handle that.
Yeah.
But and but with the Padres, I'm more afraid of their roster because they're just loaded top to bottom. They got hitters all up and down the lineup. Their bullpen is really good. Their starting rotation is good as well. There's just so much.
Don't put his talent up.
Oh,
He
I
doesn't
There's
know
don't know
anything
about
about
talent.
I don't know
baseball.
about all that. It's gonna go 4, 5 games.
I mean, I think Brewers Cubs goes 5 games. It doesn't matter how hot one or the other team is, and frankly, neither one of them are hot right now. But I mean, we saw a red hot Brewers team go into Wrigley, and the Cubs took 3 out of 5. I mean, that's just how it is. It's going to be a really tight series,
That's what
and
I've been saying all year, but I don't think they're gonna win. I don't think that. I don't know, bro. I think the Padres right now are catching some fucking heat right now. I don't know if
I
they're.
think the Padres beat the Cubs at Wrigley though and come to
Yeah,
Milwaukee. And I think that's bad for the Brewers because they get that
really bad.
momentum too. They just took 2 out of 3. They took 2 out of 3 the first time they played in Milwaukee, and that was when Milwaukee was on their heater between like May and August. So I'm concerned about either one of these teams really, but for different reasons. The Cubs because just the fan in me doesn't want to have to play them, especially in the first round. If we're going to play them in the CS, that's different because, one of us goes to the World Series. But here it's like we could get, we could lose to the Cubs and then they just get swept by the Dodgers. And it's like, wow, we really sucked, didn't we? But if we play them in the CS, it's different in my opinion.
The Cubs got the Brewers' number this season. That's why.
I wouldn't say that. It was 7-6 this year. Like it was about as even could be.
Yeah, I mean, you also had a doubleheader because you guys didn't want to play it that first time around, and you switched it to this time, and then we lost that. No, I don't remember that. I don't remember. But I think we won that last one, or the
I
next
mean,
day
the
we
Cubs
won.
won three at what was that? 2 out of 4 games when they were playing terribly. So you imagine when they were hot, we already seen built to ass when they were in
But
Milwaukee.
imagine
So
when we're hot, though. I mean, it's gonna be even as like Chris said, it's gonna be even as it gets.
yeah, it's gonna
So
probably be
I mean,
even.
I
Yeah,
think
but that's the
it
only
doesn't matter
team.
how hot. I mean, we saw the Cubs the first 2 months of the year when they
yeah,
were the best team hitting wise, at least in baseball. Yes, That was belt ass, like you said. But the Cubs aren't that hot right now.
That's what I'm
PCA's been
saying.
one.
If they were able to beat
PCA's been
Cubs-
one of the worst hitters in baseball. Also, the Brewers were ice cold at that time. That was in the midst of their stretch where they got shut out 6 times in a month or in a half a month. But PCA has been one of the worst hitters in baseball over the last 2 months. Kyle Tucker has been injured, so we don't know what he's going to look like coming
Which is
back.
actually a
He's
pretty good thing for us. You know, he can sit down and like, you know, get his swing back.
I mean, yeah, but he might have a bit of rust to knock off. Seiya Suzuki's been kind of invisible the second half of the season. Matt Shaw had his little run, but he's kind of fallen back to earth a little bit compared to that, at least. It's just this Cubs team isn't as hot. Matthew Boyd had a good outing yesterday, but he struggled a bit in his last few starts before that. Shoto's been kind of home run prone lately too. I think the Padres are going to win that series. Now this
They're
could
not winning
completely
that series.
this could completely backfire on me, and it probably will because that's
Cade
what
Horton is
usually
going to start
happens.
game 1. He's been practically Cy Young for the past 2 months. Then you got Jameson Taillon, who's had a 180-some ERA.
I don't think Taillon is starting. I think it's going to be Horton, Shota, and Boyd that are going to be the 3. Taillon's probably going to be like a bullpen guy. Like if someone craps the bed, he goes in. But otherwise, I think it's those 3 that start for the Cubs.
I'm talking about if they go to the DS. That's already 2 guys right there that's has sub 2 ERAs for the past month and a half. And then you got if Boyd figure it out, that's another one. Who's this year.
But for the Brewers, you got Quinn Priester, who hasn't lost a game in 19 outings. 19 outings in a row, the Brewers have won his starts. So, I mean, that's about as guaranteed of a win as you can get. Now that I say that, he's probably going to lose tomorrow, and then you got Freddie Peralta behind him or in front of him probably. And then you got guys in the pen that can hold it down too. If DL Hall comes back healthy, I don't think the Miz should even pitch at all in the playoffs, but that's a completely different conversation. Do I think he's ready right now? No. Do I think he will be in the future? Yes. He's just not mentally stable enough, I don't think, to be a playoff ready pitcher. Because what he does is he rides the wave. When he's pitching well, he gets really high. But when he's not pitching well, he's really low and he struggles.
Really low.
Like we've seen the lows in the last couple of starts, and it's been rough. And I just don't trust his command going into October. If it was like the form he was in June, July, that's different. But right now he's not in that form, and I just don't know if I trust it.
Now Mets and Dodgers. I think I got Dodgers.
The Dodgers are sweeping it.
Dodgers in 2. That's not even close.
That's not going to even be a series.
But the thing is, Dodgers and Phillies. I got the Phillies, dude. Call me crazy. The Phillies are my second favorite team behind the Brewers. They always have been because their crowd and their environment that they play in is so cool. I think Phillies is just meant to be, bro. I do. I think it's just time. I think it's time to just call it how it is.
I think if it's anyone, I think it's going to be the Dodgers that the Brewers have to beat. It's like the big.
No.
Well, it's like think about the storyline here too. Like you got the big bad wolf of the MLB, who's got $1 billion payroll, Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, all those pitchers that they've acquired the last few years: Blake Snell, Tyler Glasnow, Roki Sasaki, Yamamoto, Kershaw.
If anything, that is the last team you want to see.
I agree. The last team
you want to see.
That's not.
We played them good. We played them good, but no way in hell we're playing them.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I think for a storyline perspective, having them, it's either them.
I still think Phillies is a better storyline.
At least it's like, well, no, it's the big bad wolf versus like the underdog. You know what I mean? Where it's like the team where everyone counts them out. They're Moneyball reincarnated, pretty much.
It's a ragtag group. The best storyline would be get the bye, play the Cubs, beat the Cubs, I-94 matchup, and then we play the Phillies right after. I think that's such a good storyline.
I think it's the Dodgers is the better one because it's like the little engine that could, or David versus Goliath almost in a way.
See, this is why, bro. Look. Their bullpen is the biggest concern right now. I don't think the Phillies have a bullpen problem. I think they're all around just good.
Is Jordan a Dodgers fan?
Yeah,
correct.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the bullpen is terrible for the Dodgers, but they have so many starters. They tried Kershaw out of the pen yesterday.
Just wait till
I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I think Glass now is coming back soon too, and then you're gonna have
Blake Snell is in there.
Blake Snell is there. He's back. Then you got Yamamoto there. Yeah, Otani's probably getting game one.
I mean, their literal philosophy right now is just take their 15 starters and turn them into bullpen arms and hope that it works.
I mean,
Because the guys that they actually have in their pen are so bad. You might as well try it because it's not going to hurt you. But I think they take care of the Mets. I also think they take care of the Phillies, and then they take care of the Brewers, go to the World Series, and everything sucks. But that's just my opinion.
The Brewers got to get out the NLDS first. Padres or Cubs, you don't want to see neither one of them teams. But
I'm telling you, bro, the storyline is Brewers get the bye, the Cubs beat the Padres, the Cubs come to Milwaukee, and we, first.
That's
and
gonna
then
feed families.
Bro, I mean, the series is amazing.
That's it.
If there's any advantage to the Brewers getting the bye against the Cubs, all the Brewers fans already bought tickets to those games. So it's not going to be like there'll still be a good presence of Cubs fans because there always is, but it's going to be less than normal because Brewers fans have had a week already before we know who we're playing against to buy tickets.
Wrigley's going to be rocking.
So it'll just be insane, and then we can buy some tickets to go to Wrigley, because they don't know if they're going to make it or not. Padres aren't.
Dude, I'm not going to lie, our presence at Wrigley in the last few years has improved mightily. Like, it used to be, we didn't have anybody at Wrigley. Now you can hear Brewers fans at Wrigley. That's a new thing. Like, Brewers' travel game has gone way up.
Let me give you the rundown
postseason.
Here.
All I say is the postseason is a different season. So no matter how cold a team is right now, we see the Mets. They were cold, and then all of a sudden, the last week of the season, they turned into freaking the 80s, the 70s Yankees. So it's like,
listen, bro.
Oh no,
Brewers get the bye. Play the Cubs. We beat the Phillies, or Dodgers. I think Phillies is a better storyline, and then we get to the World Series and play Seattle because that's what I got in this World Series. I think Seattle
is so
what happened to Detroit?
That's exactly where I was about to go next. Detroit is on a verge of not making the playoffs.
Dude, I saw a meme today and it just symbolized them perfectly.
Do not let the Reds in. I agree.
Dude,
do not let them in.
I have to say, I can hear Sam out on this specifically because of how good their pitching is. If you have to face against Hunter Green and Andrew Abbott in a best-of-3 series, man, good luck. Because those guys both have ERAs under 3, which means you're going to have to find a way to get to their bullpen, which is solid too, and pray that Ellie De La Cruz and some of their other guys in the lineup stay down, which they're not the best lineup, but don't let them get hot. That's all I'm going to say. I can definitely hear Sam out on this one.
They just had, and then they got Chase Burns coming out of the doggone bullpen throwing 102.
I mean, that too. Yeah, it's kind of scary. But yeah, back to the.
Said he has the Tigers, bro. I don't know, man. They're 6 now. I mean, they're not as hungry anymore.
I mean, yeah, I'm agreeing. I didn't disagree with you then, and I'm not going to disagree with you now. But back to the Tigers here. I saw a meme, and it just perfectly encapsulates them. It's like the Thanos meme where it's like perfectly balanced as all things should be. Because they had that electrifying run at the end of last year to sneak into the playoffs and somehow win a series. This year is just the exact opposite of that. They're completely cold at the wrong time on a horrible losing streak. And they're still probably going to make it in as long as they win 2 games this weekend, or they win 1, Houston loses 1. Which is crazy because of how bad they've been the last month. But
Red Sox Yankees is nasty.
That's what I'm saying. The Red Sox Yankees, that's going to feed families too.
That's a good series. Really good series. I don't know.
Excited to see
I got Yankees, but that's gross. That's going to be a fun one to watch for sure. Blue Jays. What do we think about the Blue Jays? Because I was going to hit on this a little bit more tomorrow. If Sam was able to get on, talk some baseball with David and Chris or whatever. But the Blue Jays, I'm like stuck on them, bro. I don't know if they're legit. I know they're really good in the regular season. I feel like they're the Brewers last year. You know,
They're cold right now, is what they are.
That's what I mean. Like they come
Yankees
into the
have
playoffs
caught
a
them.
little cold, and they just don't look as fundamental as they have all year. So the Blue Jays, I'm a little confused on. I don't think they're going to make it past the Yankees or the Red Sox.
I mean, the thing about Toronto is no one
Let me tell you
expected them
something.
to be division
Hold on.
leaders at this point.
So about the Tigers getting to the playoffs over the Astros. The Astros got the A's tonight, and then they got the Angels the weekend.
They should win those.
How about the Tigers? They got Cleveland tonight, and then the motherfucking Red Sox. Yeah, Tigers, good luck. You're going home.
I mean, but they still have the advantage over Houston, though, don't they? Like, that's the thing.
Game.
Like,
it's a one-game advantage.
One game.
So
though. They have 3 games left, right?
I mean, they have tiebreak, I think, too.
Included tonight. 4 games, and they have a one-game lead.
Tiebreak, though, too. So it's basically like a game and a half.
Yeah. Ugh, I don't know, man. That's
so you think the Tigers right now can beat the Red Sox in the series?
No, but they don't have to.
There it is. That's it.
But they don't have to. I think Houston probably loses at least one of those games. Like, I don't know which one it's going to be, but
the Astros already lost to the A's 2 times, so they're bound to win tonight. And then they got the Angels to win 2 out of 3. If they win, like, and then you got the Tigers who are playing the Guardians, who was freaking 17 out of their last 9 games, not 17 out of their 19 last games to win. And then you got a Boston team that's still trying to get the home field over the Yankees. So now you got to go and try to beat them 2 out of 3 times in Boston.
That's nasty.
That's not gonna happen.
What happens if the Astros make the playoffs, bro? What do we see? Nothing.
No. Well,
Astros are nice though.
Whenever the Astros get into the playoffs,
they haven't been playing well though.
Cinderella.
Yeah, the Astros always put up a great fight against anybody.
Except last year, they looked terrible last year, but that was
the year before.
I think that's more of a one-off than anything.
Oh yeah, we all agree on this.
Yeah. Sam, you should just like call in or something, man, because you're right on with all these things,
bro. Like you got the link, so get in here. But yeah, I mean, the Astros have the Angels and the A's tonight, and then the Tigers got the Red Sox and the Guardians tonight. You can just look at the schedule right there on paper. You could already tell the Astros are going to make the playoffs by 1 game.
Right. Man, the Astros making the playoffs, but that's kind of scary, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
They just got Correa back too, and anything. I'm telling you, when the postseason happens, it's a new season. Everything's 0-0.
Everything's 0-0, bro.
Everything 0-0.
Guys, I think we can all agree on this. Detroit has the worst collapse. Like, this is the worst collapse in MLB history. Wow. 15.5 game division lead in July. I mean, we've seen some bad ones before. Don't get me wrong. The 7-17, 7-game lead in 17 games blown by the Mets was pretty darn bad. But that does not compare to this. This is completely unprecedented. The Guardians were down 6.5 a couple weeks ago, and now all of a sudden, poof, here they are, 1 game up. It's actually insane.
I don't even know what to say, man. I don't know. I feel like the Astros make it. They're gonna make some noise. The Guardians. I don't know much about the Guardians. You guys.
It's Jose Ramirez and friends, pretty much. There's not much there.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
They just went on a freaking heater that I can't explain.
I mean, if you thought the Brewers were the power of friendship, this team is the power of friendship.
So real quick, looking at the.
Go ahead, Sam. Go off.
No, I'll let Nas go first.
I was gonna say, looking at the bracket real quick, the playoff picture, who you guys got in the World Series. I know you don't want to early predictions. You don't have to set in stone it yet, but early predictions.
I think as of what I'm looking at right now, I think it's gonna be Dodgers and Mariners.
I think I might have.
I definitely got Mariners coming out the AL.
The Mariners have one of the best pitching staffs, and then they got the MVP.
I mean, they're red hot right now too.
Is insane.
Mm-hmm.
I think I got to go with the same thing. I mean, Philly, I think, would give a better fight to the Dodgers than any team on the bottom. Now, Dodgers Padres is always a fun
I was
series.
gonna
if
say
that was
Padres could
happen.
definitely put up a better fight.
I mean, but the thing is, they're always close but no cigar. Like that saying embodies the Padres against the Dodgers. They'll take them 7 or 5 or whatever, but they can never get it done. That's the thing.
Go ahead, Sam.
I'm starting to genuinely think it's going to be Milwaukee coming out for the World Series. I do, and this is the easiest route. They now have the easiest route. With the Phillies lost tonight, or you just got to win one this weekend against the Reds. You have the easiest route to the World Series because you don't have to play both LA and Philly if you're the 1 seed. You only have to play one of those two, and you might not have to play either. We don't know. The Mets, they're slowly starting to heat things back up again, and they're doing it at the right time. It's just like last year when they heated things up right at the right time. They ended up making it within 2 games of the World Series. Same goes for the Reds. The Reds are getting hot. The Reds have been hot for a while. They're like borderline white hot with how good their bats have been, and their pitching staff has been amazing the last couple of weeks, right? You don't want that route. You're only going to have to face one of those teams. If you keep the 1 seed, you only have to face one of those teams. We've had the Padres number up until this last series. The last series they got us, but we were also midst of the hangover, like playing a whole bunch of different weird, wonky lineups just to see if we could throw something at the wall and if it sticks. The pitching finally figured it out yesterday, even though they tried to give it away as many times as possible. But they're figuring it out. They're figuring it out at the right time again. A home series to end the season against a Reds team that you don't want to see in the playoffs. Shut them down, get momentum on your side. I think the Brewers are genuinely going to be the team that comes out of the National League because we had the numbers for both the Dodgers and the Phillies this year too. The Dodgers want us. They want us bad. They
That's
want to
why I
get their
don't
get
want
back
them.
so bad. I don't want them either, but we've had their number this year. They struggle against our pitching. They had all season. The Phillies, we always seem to find a way to beat as well. So I'm not too concerned. Based on regular season success against them, I'm not too concerned going into matchups against them. And you only have to play one of those teams, and they're going to be banged up against each other.
And what about Padres and Cubs then? What about Padres and Cubs? What do we think about that? Because we got to start off somewhere.
I'd rather play the Padres. I'd much rather play the Padres.
I don't agree.
I do because American Family Field turns into Wrigley North every single Brewers Cup game. It does happen.
No. Chris just explained it though. Chris just explained it. We've had a week to get our tickets already before we even know who we play. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The Brewers are always going to be packed.
The resale market, dude. It's going to be a resale market. It's going to happen. It's bound to happen.
Whether we like it or not.
I'm sure we could try. Those tickets are way too expensive for a blue-collar Wisconsinite like myself. However, I would much rather play the Padres. I would.
I agree.
The reason being is that the Padres pitching staff in the starting rotation, not as stout as, say, the Cubs. I like the Padres bullpen more than I like the Cubs bullpen. But I feel that because Milwaukee is so aggressive, especially in the early innings, at going out there and swinging first and second pitch and making things happen early in ball games, that's their play style. If you can get to the Padres bullpen early, you can crack them.
The Cubs starting rotation. Say what you want.
Cade Horton's electric,
dude. Boyd has been on a downslide, but
he's been dominant all season.
Back up.
I'm not arguing against Cade Horton at all because I completely agree with you on Cade Horton.
Eating everyone alive for the Pats since the All-Star break.
The thing is about Cade Horton though, he only pitches 1 game. They still have to field 2 other winning pitchers. Say that you chalk Cade Horton's game up to a win, which, I mean, as long as it's not his first playoff start, because that's completely different than just an average regular season game. Crowds are going to be trying to get in your head. You can either get too high or too low. It's very easy to do that. But at least in a second playoff start, I could definitely see him going crazy. But in a first one, like against the Padres, for example, I'm not sure if I'd want him as my game 1, but I could see definitely why Chicago would do that.
Bro, the Cubs don't have a bullpen. It's going to be easier for us to score in the inning.
The thing about the Cubs is,
Daniel Palencia is good.
He's good, but he's not a game changer.
Well, Andrew Kittredge is good too.
Have you seen Brad Keller this season?
I would rather play
I've seen Brad
the
Keller.
Cubs than the Padres. The Padres, like you said, Sam, the Padres have a better bullpen. It's going to be harder for us to score at the end of the game, which we struggle at time to time. I know we had a lot of comeback games, but we struggle a lot towards the end of the game, towards the 8th inning, to shut people out. And the Padres do that perfectly against us. We've seen it. We just saw it this week. They just blew us out 0-7. And then
yesterday, the last
Well, that's because we
game
stuck
before that, it
Bruce
should have been
Zimmerman in
won.
one of those. We punted that Tuesday game. Now,
That's
let's
exactly
be
what I said. That
realistic.
Dude,
Tuesday
yeah,
game
but-
should have been over. That
Dude, we
should
had
have
to
been
punt.
over.
We really had to punt both games if you think about it. And the reason why Tuesday was obviously punted or Monday was punted because, we were hungover. Let's just cut to the chase. They celebrated big time that Sunday night in St. Louis. Everyone was feeling no pain in that clubhouse. So Monday was chalked up as a loss from the jump. Tuesday, they punted because it was supposed to be Brandon Woodruff's start. Dude, Brandon Woodruff might retire. He might be forced to medically retire. He might be forced to pull a Steven Strasburg. Like, we haven't even considered that yet. They had to start Bruce Zimmerman on Tuesday because they had nobody else. They're trying to rest guys as much as they can leading up to the playoffs. Both of those games were chalked up as losses from the jump. And then yesterday, Chatty P. Innings Eater goes out 4 or 5 strong. Eric Fetty comes in for 2.5 nice ones. And then you go out there with the rest of your back end bullpen. McGill is coming back Sunday. There's a chance DL Hall is back for the NLDS. There's a chance that who's the other guy? There's even a chance that Woody comes back if he doesn't need surgery, right? So, fact of the matter is that Padres series we chalked up as lost.
Look,
And that's fine. We needed the rest. We knew what we were going into. They didn't, what stinks is that as a fan, I would have loved to see the 100 wins. They didn't care. They did not care about getting 100 wins. They care about the number 1 seed and resting their guys so they're ready come October 4th.
Look,
That's what they care about.
Lineups are pretty similar. Rotation's pretty similar with top-heavy starters, but I'd rather face Palencia, I think that's how you say his name, in Kittredge.
Yeah.
And at the end of the game, than Suarez and Mason Miller. I think that's
And Mason Miller and Jason Adam. Yeah, that makes sense. Yes. Dude, Mason Miller took a step back from when he moved from Sacramento over to San Diego. He did initially take a step back, and the stats haven't truly recovered since then. Lately, he's been all right. But he hasn't truly been himself like he was a couple seasons ago with Oakland, like he is now. And especially in his first playoff appearance, too. We're talking about Cade Horton having a rough first outing in the playoffs. Mason Miller's never been in the playoffs.
He's unhittable.
He doesn't know that atmosphere. Can he feed off of it? Sure. But we don't know. We won't know until we see him there. We've been saying it this whole time with other guys.
How
does that not apply to Mason Miller?
Mason Miller right now, as of right now, is unhittable.
And we'll be able to get into some more tomorrow.
But like Sam said, though, Mason Miller, it is possible that, guys just flip a switch in a negative way come playoff time because the moment just gets too big for him.
Unhittable. Right?
Yeah,
Dude, Nick Mears in his playoff career is untouchable.
We're going to have a whole lot of this talk, especially coming up for the next week. Especially we might have some tomorrow with Live or Nas. You never know.
We always have it at the end of the podcast. We always have baseball talk.